What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American, here today to react and learn about British predecimal currency, which basically means old British money. So, as an American, even I have heard of the term a shilling in regards to British currency, but at the same time, I still don't really know what that is. So today, I'm very interested in learning about the history of British currency. So, with that being said, let's take a look.
If you watch any film set or made in the UK before 1971, you might catch some very strange phrases relating to money.
Right.
Ah, you clever boy. Here's a shilling for you.
Ah! Ah ha ha! There we go, a shilling! I don't know why, but most Americans, I think, have heard of a shilling. And I know, is it like a coin? Some form of money in the UK. Like, I don't know, that was showing like Oliver Twist. Maybe that's even where I heard it before. I don't know. But it's kind of funny to me how Americans, we don't know much about British culture, but I feel like most Americans have heard of a shilling before. But let's keep going.
There's some change then.
Oh, crikey, I forgot. Oh, you turn 11 put 3 farthings.
If I give you a farthing, you can give me 3 bob, right?
Oh, yeah.
A farthing? A bob? A bob and a farthing, okay. That's it, now I'm completely lost.
10 shillings, sir.
Shilling!
Sorry, I got nothing smaller.
Thank you, you've been...
Oh, look at that, it looks like a coin. Look, he dropped this big old coin on the counter. Is that what a shilling looks like?
Thank you, you've been such a help. I'm still trying to figure out your money. Is that all right?
That's because for centuries, the UK and Ireland used a different system of money to the rest of the world. Whereas today you have the pound sterling, made up of 100 pence each.
Right. Okay, so that makes sense. I didn't realize, like, I still don't quite know the timeline of when the UK started using the pound. It's also interesting to me that, now that I think about it, the UK does not use the euro. Huh. Don't a lot of European countries use the euro? But the UK uses the pound. And apparently maybe not for all that long?
Before there was a pound sterling, made up of 20 shillings, and each shilling was worth 12 pence.
Oh, God. Oh, God, no. Oh, no. Okay, there's a pound sterling. Let me roll this back just so I can get it clear. There's a pound sterling made up of 20 shillings. And he said 1 shilling is how many pence?
Shillings, and each shilling was worth 12 pence.
12 pence? So a pound sterling is 12... How many pence in a pound sterling? 12 times 20, like 240? Who came up with this system? Seems a bit random. 20 shillings in a pound and 12 pence in a shilling and...
In ancient times, a pound sterling comes from a pound of sterling, or silver, and a shilling, meaning the shaving off of bits of metal to make it easier to carry.
Really? It seems so obvious once you're told it. But I never knew that. A pound sterling. Like silver. Like a pound of... Was every, like, pound sterling's banknote, did that, like, represent some amount of silver? Like, I think the United States currency used to be backed up by gold. This literally has a name in it, pound sterling. Oh, I should have made that connection. And a shilling is like a shaving. A shilling is like a shavings of the silver. a lower denomination of the currency. Makes sense when you're told.
So for hundreds of years, people living in Britain or its territories had to work with this convoluted system of base 12 and then base 20 and then base 10 way of handling money.
Exactly. I am so glad that they said this, because this is exactly what I was thinking. I was like, isn't this a bit convoluted? 12 of this, 20 of that, 10 of these. Yeah, okay. It's kind of like our American imperial measurement system. How can I even criticize this when we got 12 inches in a foot and 3 feet in a yard and all that?
The coins of this system were the farthing, the halfpenny, the penny, the threepence, the sixpence,
What?
the shilling, the florin, the half crown, the half sovereign, the pound.
I've heard of a crown before. I've heard of a crown. That's another form of currency, isn't it? I've heard of a crown. Never knew what it was. Why are there so many coins? Holy cow. There's like 10 different denominations of coin here. What? I thought it was like the shilling and the pound. Or maybe a shilling, crown, and pound. No, there's half crown, florin, half sovereign, sixpence.
The groat, the angel, the Armani, the fine sovereign,
It keeps
the
going.
guinea, the denique, the three farthing, the half groat.
It keeps
I made a couple
going.
of those up, see if you can guess which one. It's even worse if you lived in medieval Scotland, who had even more coins, like the pistol, the dollar, the rial, the lion, the ducat, the merk, the unicorn, the bawbee, the bodle, and the...
Are they just making these up at this point? I know they were joking about that, but are they just making these up? The unicorn? The bottle? Plaque? Ducat? What's even more sort of confusing about this is that there's not just one currency for all of the UK. It looks like Scotland kind of did some of its own thing. Probably some of the other countries probably did their own thing. On top of the whole UK system, which had like 20 different coins.
plaque. Those are all real names for coins in Scotland before the Union.
Wow.
Wales was the only sensible one of the three by just having one coin. The penny.
Oh, just the penny. Okay, thank you, Wales. Thank you. Just the penny. So easy. Perfect. Can we just go back to transacting everything in pennies? 1 penny at a time.
Thankfully, by the Victorian era, most of these coins had gone out of fashion, and most people before then were so poor that they never actually saw half of those coins. But imagine being an accountant in the 17th century, though. Have fun with that job. No, by the 19...
I can't even believe it worked as well as it did. But I think part of it was back in the day, the coins were actually made out of precious metal themselves. So that helped make sure the coin had value. The actual coin was made out of silver or something valuable.
1900s, only a handful of these coins were left. The halfpenny, which was half a penny, and sometimes called the halfpenny for short, making this word the longest one-syllable word in the world.
What?
It's pronounced hapths. The penny, self-explanatory. Threepence or thruppence, which is 3 pence. Sixpence, which was, unsurprisingly, 6 pence.
Man, all these small denominations of pence. Isn't pence like a penny in Britain? Like a unit of 1, basically? Well, I guess back in the good old days, maybe it was worthwhile to carry around a 3 pence coin, because there was stuff that cost 3 pence and 6 pence. Now it wouldn't make any sense at all.
The shilling, which was 12 pence. This was also known as the bob. The florin, which was 2 shillings, or 24 pence. The half crown, 2 shillings and 6 pence. The crown, which was 5 shillings, or a quarter of a pound.
I was wondering about the crown. That's just, a crown is a bigger denomination. It's 5 shillings. That's cool. I mean, it's cool because I've heard some of these terms before, but never had any idea what they meant.
And the pound, 20 shillings, or 240 pence.
20 shillings. Okay.
And although there wasn't a coin for it, there was also a guinea, which was just a more friendly way of saying £1 and 1 shilling. This was so shops could make it seem like the item only costed £1 when they were actually scamming you out of an extra 12 pence.
£1, 1 shilling had a name, and it was a guinea? Like a guinea pig? It's kind of like, times never change, do they? It's like in America, when they list stuff for 99 cents, or like $3.99, but it's really going to cost you like $4.15 after tax. It's like it's a psychological thing. Like, times really never change, do they?
Also, every single one of these coins had a ton of slang and nicknames. So an American or European moving to the UK or Ireland would not only have to learn this ridiculous count.
That's funny. Even back then, there was slang for currency. Like in America, for $1, we have like a buck. But here it's a quid, a bar, a sheet, a 2-bob, a tanner.
This ridiculous counting method, but also all of the slang that goes with them.
Oh my gosh.
Let's say you're in the queue for the shop and you have 2 items. One costs £3, 16 shillings and 11 pence. The other costs £5, 15 shillings and 10 pence. Okay. Now, in the minute or two you'll be waiting in line, you'll need to work out in your head what is the total cost of both of my items and what is the minimum number of coins I can use to pay for it.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. There's almost too many coins, aren't there? Like, I mean, you have to have a certain threshold of coins so that you can give exact change. But I don't think you need like a 3 pence, a 6 pence. But a shilling is 12 pennies. That's why it's a 6. I was like, why the 6 pence? It's because that's exactly half a shilling. So that does make sense. Oh, all right, don't ask me how to make this more simple.
You can pause the video to think about it in your own time, but here's how you'd work it out. 11 plus 10 is 21, and because there are 12 pennies in a shilling, that makes 1 shilling and 9 pence.
Right.
So you carry the 1 shilling, adding up the shillings to make 32. There are 20 shillings in a pound, so that's £1 and 12 shillings. Carry that to the pounds column, and you get 4 plus 5 is 9, making in total £9, 12 shillings and 9 pence.
Just that easy. Piece of cake, right? Just like that. Well, I guess back in the day, just like now, people were probably pretty quick at calculating all of this if it was something you did in your daily life. Piece of cake,
now you've worked that out, you need to find it in your coins to make that amount. What is the minimum number of coins and notes you need to pay for this in exact change?
Oh my god, I don't. You need 9 of the pounds. You could use a crown is 5 shillings, which is 12. Oh, no, I can't calculate that.
The answer is a £5 note, 4 pound notes or coins, 2 crowns, which is 10 shillings total, a half crown, which is 2 shillings 6 pence, and a 3 pence, making 9 pence.
Wow.
9, 12, and 9. If you found that too easy, here's the same puzzle.
What a nightmare. If I found it too easy?
But pretend these are the only coins that you have in your pocket. Have fun with that. Perhaps if you grew up with this system, you'd be a bit faster at this, but it's still an awful lot of mental work that everyone had to go through virtually every single day. If you have a British grandparent, go ahead and ask them what it was like. Obviously, this system is ridiculous. It's overly complicated, an unhelpful way of pricing things, and with the advent of computers, it was going to make the digitization of money a lot more difficult.
Yeah, now I'm starting to wonder, when did the UK switch from all this madness to, like, the pound, as we know it today?
It was time to change.
Oh.
Ideas for decimalizing the pound go back as far as 1824, and various attempts at it had been done since then. By the 1860s, most of the world's countries and colonies had switched to decimal currency. But as with all things, we had to do it differently to those smelly Europeans because we're British and we're a special island. So Britain and...
How did Britain do it? Decimal currency, does that basically mean making sure everything is in multiples of 10? Is that what that means? Or hundreds at least?
Most of her colonies continued using a currency system from the medieval times
until 1971.
1971? That recently, 50 years ago, was when the UK finally changed from all that? Oh my god.
In the 1960s, a parliamentary commission on how to improve and streamline the UK financial system returned with the suggestion of switching to base 10 currency.
Yes.
Ireland did the same because after Irish independence in 1922, they had decided to peg the Irish pound to the British pound for reasons we will discuss another time. Some considered changing the name of the currency entirely to the Britannia or the Royal or the Noble, but it didn't catch on.
Really?
The initial plan was for there to be 100 pennies in a pound and keeping the shilling so that there would be now 5 shillings in a pound.
Oh, they were gonna keep the shilling. I think that the UK should have kept the shilling. I have no stake in this. I don't know why I think that, but there's something fun about the shilling. Maybe because it's just such a well-known historical money, even here in America. Like, we know the word shilling for some reason. That'd be cool if it was still around. It almost was kept. Ah, man.
Then they realised they could just turn the shilling into a 20p coin and delete the shilling from their plans to make it even easier.
Yeah.
The new pound would stay equal to £1. A crown would be equal to 25p. A florin would now be worth 10p. The shilling would be worth 5p.
Wow, a shilling is 5p. So this all, like, now that I see the current UK system, it's very, very, very similar, identical, I would say, to the American currency system, where we have a dollar and a 25-cent coin and a 10-cent coin and a 5-cent coin. It's basically, I didn't realize we're essentially identical, just with different names for all the currency.
3 and 6p would be withdrawn. They'd be replaced by 1 and 2p coins.
Good riddance. good riddance to the 6p and the 3p. They had a nice long hurrah. They had their place, but I don't like multiplying and 6s and 3s and no.
And with that, the date was set. On the 15th of February 1971, the UK and Ireland would switch to decimal money,
Wow.
like the rest of the world.
Wow, they just set a date and it happened. Just like that. And then there was the pound and the pence.
Some people resisted. They thought the new system was too complicated and nobody would understand base 10 currency.
They thought it was too complicated? People resisted because they thought this was too complicated after they came from that system earlier?
And I suppose that's true if you struggle to count to 10. Side note, a similar thing is actually happening more recently as the UK has begun to adopt the metric system for driving. Some road signs are now printed in kilometres instead of miles.
Did the UK not use kilometers? I'm just shocked by this. This is so random. This doesn't really have anything to do with currency, but the UK was using miles? When was the UK using miles? I thought the UK was basically all metric. I gotta freshen up on that. What the heck? But I think with that, that's a good place to stop. That was a very good video. That was by Brit Monkey, and I gotta give it a like. That is a really, really, like, as best as you can explain it, a history of British currency. Because, to be honest, I have genuinely wondered, like, what is a shilling? What is a crown? Like, I hear those words in movies and TV shows, and now I didn't even realize the crown, a crown was a British currency, actually. So I learned quite a lot from this video. It's pretty fascinating stuff, honestly. And then they got rid of the shilling, just like that. And I guess I'm kind of shocked at how recently the UK overhauled its currency system, like 50 years ago. That's it. There's people alive today, still, who, like, traded in the shilling? Is that right? Am I understanding this right? Anyway, this was a lot of fun. If you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on British currency, what they call pre-decimal currency before the modern system, or any of the stuff in this video. That'd be very fun to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Britain and British culture and learning things about Britain for the first time, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.